Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to One Hen, Two Ducks.
A grown-up theater kids podcast.
Today is a super fun episode. Today we are revealing our top 10 most favorite musicals.
Yes, but there's more.
But there's more. We're not just going to tell you what our top 10 favorite musicals are. We're going to try to guess each other's. And how this is going to work is Selena is going to tell me the name of a musical. And I have to guess where that is in her top 10. If I get it wrong, I have to take a penalty, which I have my little penalty bowl right here. We have picked various things for us to do over the internet that will still somehow be a penalty. She has the same ones. Yes. And after my penalty, she has 1 minute to tell me why she put it where she put it. And if she goes over that minute, then she has to pick a penalty.
Yes. Too. So the one who's going to keep track for us in points is our producer, Kristen. She will give us who wins and who does not, and by what number.
By what number? Because if Selena gives me the name of a musical and I put it in the correct spot, I get a point. Yes. And then she goes on to say her 1 minute long spiel. And if she goes under that minute, she gets a point. So it is neck and neck here, guys, for the first 7 musicals.
And I feel like I'm already going to fail with the whole 1 minute thing. Because I think, especially those who have watched us over the past few months know that I'm the most verbose of us all. So this will be interesting. All right.
First of all, let me just preface this by saying this was incredibly hard to narrow down all of my favorite musicals to a top 10. It was extremely difficult. And not only that, but I'm very grateful for the privilege of having lived in New York for the past 7-8 years and been able to see some things on Broadway, because that's a whole different ballgame, is to then in your head say, well, that performance was incredible, but is that show my favorite? Exactly. You know what I mean? I had a couple of those too, where I was like, oh, but I want to put this in there because that person did so good in that show. But if it wasn't that person in that show, and if I just went and saw that show, would it still be in my top 10? So hard.
It was very hard. And for me too, I had to narrow it down for the reasons why I liked it. So,
also, peep the mug today, guys. It's a faded
very
mug.
Nice.
But here, look at her. She's got all the little shows on there.
Very nice. Look at you, all prepared.
All right, let's do this, shall we? Let's play this game. My 10 through 4.
Yep, you just name it, and I'm supposed to guess the number.
Hello, Dolly.
6.
Wrong. Penalty time. Penalties, 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 penalties. Go. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah, of course you're excited.
What will you get? All right,
so I have my randomizer online. So I'm going to say pick a random item, and it's going to show me what it's going to be. So here I go. I'm clicking the button right now. It's going through a little spinny wheel. It's making me nervous because it's showing me things that it could be. And it's wear a hat.
Oh, that's a fun one.
So I'm going to wear a hat on my half beanie.
I love it. Cute.
I look a little...
You look like you're ready for winter. So I put Hello, Dolly at number 8 because it was the first musical I was in high school. I saw the revival, and there's something just about that show, about the music of that show. I remember watching it in freshman year theater class, with Michael Crawford and Barbra Streisand, and it was just the most magical, beautiful. The orchestrations are incredible. It's just a simple, lovely musical, and that's why I put it at number 8.
Where was she? Did she make it?
Whatever. Oh my God. The fact that I couldn't remember Barbra Streisand's name, I was like, oh.
I was hoping so you can get a penalty. Whatever. All right. So my turn. I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast.
I'm going to say you put that at number 9.
Dang you!
Shut up, really?
Yes, it is number 9.
Yes!
I don't like you. Oh. I don't like you at all. I quit this game already.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
Now I will. 1 minute.
You have a chance to regain a point right now, Selena. You got this.
Okay, ready?
I have faith in you.
The reason why I love Beauty and the Beast, or I put it at number 9, is because, similar to what Megan said about Hello Dolly, it was my first musical that I was in high school. And every single time I hear just the music, the opening orchestration, like the doo 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 and the doo, I mean, my heart starts to just like pound. And it was my favorite musical in Disney before because of the storyline. I just love the beauty and the whole story of seeing somebody for who they are inside and not outside. And then it just became more special because it was our high school musical, and that's it.
Yay! You did
I wanted to say more, but I was like, no, I gotta shut up. I gotta shut up.
Okay. Sweeney Todd.
Ooh. I'm trying to think if it's before or after Hello Dolly. I'm
trying not to let anything through my face.
I see that. I want to say 7.
Wrong.
I'm just going to do all the challenges. Whatever. I'm going to take all the penalties.
I want to do some penalties. They're fun.
Where's my hat? Oh, yes, that's right. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to pick another one. I press the button. It's spinning and showing me what it could be. Please don't be push-ups. Lord have mercy.
At least then you get them out of the way.
All right, it is Eat a Lemon and Not React.
All right, let's see how you do. Eat a lemon. Don't
I dropped the
react to
lemon.
that lemon.
Can I just bite into it?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Don't react. Can't make a face.
I'm not going to react. I can't make a face. All right. Here we go. First, I got to relax my face because now I keep laughing. I mean, I want to laugh.
Pretend like you're going to win $1 million if you don't react to this lemon.
Okay, I'm ready. Here we go.
You got this. Good. That's some serious willpower. Wow, girl. That's
Do one
amazing.
more.
Go, yeah, do one more. It looks like it's not phasing you at all. This must be like the best lemon of the world.
Do I get my point?
You get your point.
Oh, because now I got to react. Because that third one, the first 2 are not that bad.
You know what?
The first one was
I saw it for like half a second in your eye. Your eye twitched. You went like this. You were like,
because the third one, the first 2 was not that bad. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. The second
I know.
one,
I like how you were
right.
like, want me to do it again? I was like, okay, sure.
Okay, now you're 1 minute.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Ready? All right. So I put Sweeney Todd below Hello Dolly. I put Sweeney Todd as number 9. I love Sondheim. This was difficult for me to choose my favorite Sondheim show, but I picked Sweeney Todd because I feel like there is not one bad song or one song that doesn't stick with me. And just the fact, like his orchestrations, the kind of ingenuity that it took to say, like, I want to write music that as an audience member, you're kind of like, what's like a suspenseful kind of musical that really hasn't happened before. And then also just like these beautiful melodies too, like Joanna and stuff, like these incredible, gorgeous, sweeping ballads and whatnot. And, you know, it's kind of that crazy musical as well. So I put it below Hello Dolly just because Hello Dolly has a little bit more of a special place in my heart, but I do love me a Sweeney Todd. 55?
Close.
Yes! I was right there. That's
I
hard.
still have
You know what?
taste of lemon in my mouth, guys.
It gets hard because then you have like the I feel like the upcoming ones are going to be even
The higher
harder
you
because
go, yes.
just because you have to like explain why you put it where you put it, whereas like the first one's like I like it, so I put it here.
All right, so the next one for me ain't misbehaving.
6. Don't tell me I got it again. Don't.
Yes,
tell me
you
I got
did.
It.
You did, and I'm sick of you. Get out. I quit this game. I quit. This game is rigged.
How did I?
She can see my list. I swear.
I was 100. I was about to say 5, and I was like, no, it's probably 5, so I should say 6. That way I can get a penalty. I literally thought that. So
No.
I could get a penalty.
It is number 6. The reason why I put Ain't Misbehaving at number 6, above Beauty and the Beast and everything, is because it was one of the first all-black musicals. And I know that, musicals is like a loose term for that one, but it was the only all-black one that I saw before. And it inspired me because I was like, oh, wow, our people can do musicals, and we can do musicals about our own culture and our own stories. And then I also just fell in love with the writer Fats Waller and his story of how he literally just was creating, and he had to create out of nothing. And even his so sad story of how he died. But yeah, anyway, I just love the combination. I love the energy. I love that it was a black musical, and that's it.
She got it. She got it. Okay.
I might as well already get one. I'm going to get all my I'm going to get ready. What is it next? Okay, go ahead. I'm already preparing myself to lose.
My Fair Lady.
Ooh. I'm curious. This is more just me being curious than an actual guess, because I'm actually curious. Number 5.
Oh, you were so close. Number 6. You were so close. No. Can I take the penalty for you?
No.
Can that be allowed?
No.
Rats. I want to take a penalty.
I mean, producer Kristen, you don't even have to take account for who's winning at this point. I give up already. All right. What is it now? What is it now? Don't even care anymore. Okay. Try not to sing.
I had to think about it because I have 2 here that I know would be difficult for you not to sing, but I'm going to try the one. Are you excited?
No.
What will my future be? I wonder.
I just want to say I hate you.
It would be so exciting to be out in the world, to be free. My heart should be wildly rejoicing. Oh, what's the matter with me?
Oh, God. This is painful.
Always long for adventure. To
This
do
is seriously
things
painful.
I've never dared. Now here I'm facing adventure. Then why am I so scared?
Okay, this is the hardest part.
Must stop these doubts, all these worries. If I don't, I just know I'll turn back. Courage, I lack.
How long is this?
Courage to so let them bring on all their problems. I'll do better than my best. I have confidence they'll put me to the test, and I'll make them see I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but kind, and all those children, heaven bless them, they will look up to me and mind me.
All right, I'm stopping it because you've done a valiant job, and I feel like that was the hardest part.
I was close.
The whole heaven bless them. I knew that you were almost gonna crack, but you got through it. So valiant effort, points for Selena.
That was painful. I'm crying. Do you see this, people? Tears.
It was between that and like another song that I know you would have sang, but it was still just like, no, I gotta do that one because that's like classic Selena. I put My Fair Lady at number 6, which is below or above Hello Dolly and Sweetie Todd. My Fair Lady was one of the first movie musicals I ever watched, and I remember just being kind of amazed by the costumes, the scene work, the storyline, and just kind of how she still remained truthful to herself. Yeah, she did like do some things to better herself, and she fell in love and all this stuff, but she ultimately was fine to walk away from all of that and do her own thing if this guy wasn't with her. And I thought that was such a very strong thing for her, to kind of say like, okay, yeah, you gave me what I needed, but if you're not going to actually like be with me and love me, then bye. Also, the
Mhm.
songs are some of my most favorite songs. And that's kind of one of those things where it's like the minute I hear them, I'm like, oh, like it's hard not to sing them.
Yeah.
I have always wanted to, if I was a costume designer, I would always I would want to design that show so badly. I've always wanted to be
Right.
Eliza Doolittle. And I've always wanted to wear incredible costumes and hats and things like that. So that's why I put it at number 6 above the other ones.
You got a penalty finally.
I get a penalty. All right, are we ready? All
Finally. Take that penalty.
right, here we go. My penalty is hat.
She's so excited. Why was our first one?
Speaking of My Fair Lady,
Nice.
this is my big My Fair Lady hat.
I love your big My Fair Lady hat. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
All right. So here's my next one.
Yes.
Wicked.
4.
You're finally wrong.
Yes.
Finally wrong.
Another penalty. Yes, another penalty. All right, here we go. Truth or dare?
Ooh. Okay. So the dare is I dare you to act like a chicken for the next 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yep.
How am I going to act like a chicken for 5 whole minutes, Selena?
I don't know. Pull out your improv.
But what about the game?
You have to act like a chicken while you're doing the game.
Oh my god.
We'll put it on the timer. And we'll count it down. I mean, you don't have to say chicken, but you got to just act like a chicken. Okay. And while you're plucking about, we got this on camera. Okay. I will go ahead and explain to you what number Wicked is and why it's on my list.
Are you even going to be able to
Okay.
let me get through this?
Yes, okay. So the reason I can't look at you. I'm gonna look at the people. People. The reason why I picked Wicked. So Wicked I put actually at number 10. The reason why I put it at number 10 is because it's a very amazing musical for me. It's one of the ones that just inspired me just to of what can be, because it took a very traditional story, a very known story, and then mixed it up enough to be something completely new and different. And I love that it was outside of the box. And that it also, while being outside of the box, it addressed really big social justice issues and issues that are happening in the time. So I thought that was also inventive. And that is it for me.
Another point for Selena. My next one for you is Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
I don't even know that musical. Okay, I probably get this wrong. I don't even know. 7. I keep saying.
You got it right.
Oh, yay! I got it right. I did something.
Which means I get a penalty. Try not to sing.
Okay, so you can forego your chicken to try not to sing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Try not to sing. Alrighty. Are you ready for this?
Yes. With goosebumps. I couldn't not sing. I have a weird thing about 90s boy bands. I can't not sing to them.
It's a penalty.
And it's a penalty, so I gotta do another penalty. See? You're catching up to me, Selena. What do we got here? Pickle juice. I have to drink
Ooh.
pickle juice.
Drinking pickle juice.
Cheers. Maybe this could be like an ASMR thing for some of our podcast people. Are you ready? I'm going to drink some pickle juice.
She's drinking the pickle juice.
Oh,
she has made a face. She has made another face.
Sour. It's very sour.
And she goes to do it another time. And her face has a permanent frown upon it. And she drinks. And she finishes it. It is done. She has completed the challenge.
Delightful.
Yay.
That was way more sour than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, I love pickles. I'll drink pickle juice. Ugh. All right.
All right, so now your turn to tell me your next one.
I put Hedwig and the Angry Inch at number 7, which means it's above Hello Dolly and Sweetie Todd and below My Fair Lady. Hedwig and the Angry Inch was kind of one of those musicals for me that redefined what I thought of as it could be a musical, because it is something very different. It's a band on stage, and it's like a person telling their life story through music, also kind of going through it a little bit on stage, but as if they are a band. This person is lead singer Hedwig. And not only that, but it's like an incredible story about like what defines you as a human being. Is it your physical body, or is it something more internal? And also accepting 100% who you are, and accepting that, you know, whoever it is you love, whatever it is you love, if you love rock and roll, if you love this or you love that, you love wearing wigs, you love anything, you can do it. And it was also this beautiful message of just being a good person. And I just, and I also just love rock and roll. So rock and roll forever.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, yeah, first her time is up. She didn't make it.
I didn't make it. Shoot. All right.
You're going to go through your whole
This is
penalty.
getting ridiculous now. Lemon. Son of a. All right. Lemon. Without making a face. I have a seed. Hang on. Let me get the seed out. I don't want to choke. All right. Ready?
We're all up in her face.
After the pickle juice, it was actually not that bad. The pickle juice was more sour than the lemon. All right, Selena, your turn.
All right. So my next one is Singing in the Rain.
Ooh. I'm going to put that as number 8 for you.
No, you're close.
Ooh.
You were close.
Another penalty. What's it going to be? Mustache.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
I am drawing a mustache on myself with a delightful turquoise pencil that I got today at the store.
Oh, very nice. Oh, I like it.
You.
You're just very
I
cute.
always felt like if I was going to have a mustache, it would be a very fancy one.
Yes, like, so you can do this all the time. Good job, Megan. It looks amazing.
Thank you. It's a little Salvador Dali, don't you think? It's fun.
So I put Singing in the Rain at number 7. So it's close. And the reason why I put it, you know, right under Ain't Misbehavin', is it's just special to me. It just, in a sense, like Ain't Misbehavin' is special to me because it's, you know, African American and all of that. Singing in the Rain is special to me for just feel good. It's one of those musicals that I cannot not feel good. Like if I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a bad month or whatever, I can count on it to always put me in a good mood. You can't be sad watching Singing in the Rain. Okay. You just can't. You can't go in there. It just uplifts every single spirit in me. I love the storyline. I love the song. And mostly I just love Gene Kelly and his happy face when he dances. He has such a happy face when he dances. Like, his face, he's just, no. And he's so effortless with his happiness. So that's why I love it. and it's specifically, and I'm probably gonna go over, but whatever. Specifically,
I love how you're just owning it.
I'm like, I'm already over. Who cares? Is him dancing in the rain. That moment, literally the singing in the rain song with him in the rain, and I know it's fake rain, but I don't care. It was wetness and the splashing, and it also reminded me a little bit of childhood, of just the joy of the moment and enjoying that moment. So yes, I already know when I went over. I don't even have to confirm. All right, what is my penalty? Let me go see. I gave up. Alrighty. Oh, God.
What'd you get?
Why? The
What'd
one
you
I
get?
really didn't want.
Push-ups?
Yes.
Yes, 5 push-ups.
You can't
You
even
got
see
this,
me.
girl.
I'm going to lay on the floor. Meat loops. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, God. Can I do my knees?
Are
Can
they
you even
called,
hear me
like, are
down
they
here?
sardines?
Do I have to do real ones?
You know what I'm talking
You guys
about? The
would know
little
if
meat
I'm
loop
doing real
guys.
ones.
You got this,
You
Selena.
can't
1,
even see me.
2, 3.
Ah! I can't even do
4,
one. Hold on, you're
5.
going too fast. Why are you counting so fast? I can't even do one.
You're so silly.
Oh gosh. Here, I'll do it on the wall. Ready?
That's a good idea.
1,
1, 2.
Two.
Come on, you got mom arms. Let's go. 3, 4, 5. You lift babies all day. You could definitely lift yourself.
I also gained weight all day.
All right. Moving right along. Cabaret.
Ooh, and that's a good one. Dang. Cabaret. I love cabaret. I'm trying not to think about me, but I do love cabaret. Okay. At number 5.
Correct. Cabaret for me is at number 5, above My Fair Lady, Hedwig, Hello Dolly, and Sweeney Todd, because Cabaret is such a beautiful Candor and Ebb musical. It's such incredible storytelling through song, storytelling through scenes. And sometimes I have this problem where sometimes in a musical, the scenes bother me. Like they're not the way you would speak in a normal way. And I feel like sometimes Cabaret can be that way, but it's already so heightened. It feels real. And I just love that it's a show that can take on different artistic takes of how you design the show.
Mm-hmm.
I love the songs. I love the musical numbers. I love the dance numbers. And I absolutely adore kind of the message at the end of just like the World War II kind of imagery at the end. It's really powerful and moving.
Oh,
I did it.
Nice. Barely.
Yes.
Barely there.
Got it. All right, Selena.
All right. I will say, sure, why not? Even though you probably will guess it right, but it's fine. My Fair Lady as well.
8.
No.
See?
And I thought you would guess it because that was a couple of them ago, but that's why I said to you, whenever you said My Fair Lady, I said, I'm curious. So what number is yours? And then I said number 5 because My Fair Lady is number 5 on my list.
Dang it.
But it's okay. But yes, so you do have a penalty.
All
now.
right. I do have to. Now I have not. All right. 5 push-ups.
You'll do yours quickly
I'll do mine quick. Promise.
because you're amazing.
Oh, please. Actually, my arms are really sore, so this is not going to be fun.
Sore from working out.
Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have My Fair Lady at number 5 for and it's mostly there purely. Yes, I love the story. Yes, I love the actor. Specifically, I'm talking about the movie version too, not the Broadway version. But I love Audrey. I love Rex. I love all of that. But ultimately, the reason why My Fair Lady is so high on my list is because it's purely nostalgia. It's one of those musicals. My grandmother was a huge musical fan as well. She's the one who I attribute to my obsession, because she used to watch them all the time. And me and my cousins were very young growing up, she just put them on the TV. And of course, that was when a household only had one TV. So we'd all be gathered there and we would just watch it all together. And it's so much of a family movie. Like, I remember me and my cousins didn't even understand the song Little Bit of Luck. And then when we got older, we're like, hey, what is he saying? But at the same time, when we were little, we used to love, and we would dance around the living room, doing all his little, little bit of love, you know, and all that stuff. And so it's just one of those ones that are close to my heart because of family and nostalgia. And I probably went over. Of course,
Selena's embracing going over a minute now.
And I don't care.
It gets hard. See, it gets harder as you start talking about like more of the musicals you really care about. It gets harder.
Oh, eat mystery food.
Oh. All right, what you got there? What's your mystery food? We've asked people in our household to put a mystery food item in a container for us without us knowing what it is. So Selena is taking out her mystery food ad. Oh, that actually is a nice mystery food.
Oh, I already know by the smell.
People in your house love you.
I'm going to be happy to eat this one, y'all.
Yum.
Hercules.
Plain.
Oh, delicious. Yeah, chocolate. I knew it was chocolate.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Man of La Mancha.
Another one I haven't seen. I know. I will have to say number... I haven't seen it, so this makes it difficult for me to tell. Because I know you, but I don't know it. So I don't know where it resides with you. I'll say number 10.
Correct. Good job. I put Man of La Mancha as my number 10 on my top 10 because it's another one of those musicals where the storytelling through music is absolutely incredible. The scenes in between this is one where like the scenes in between don't bother me at all. It's one of those, it's a classic musical. It's one of like the older school musicals, but it is such a beautiful, beautiful show. And the role of Don Quixote, when you get someone like Brian Stokes Mitchell, who I saw on Broadway do it in the revival, you get someone like Brian Stokes Mitchell in that role, and his beautiful, deep baritone can come out in its full potential. And it is the most stunning and moving and chill-worthy musical. So I have other things above it, just for other reasons, but Man of La Mancha does have a little spot in my heart, and that's why I put it number 10.
Yes. Right at 1 minute.
Yes.
You, Mitch. For me, I'll give you Les Miserables.
Number 4. No?
It's not number 4. It is number 8.
All right, penalty to me. Dad jokes.
Ooh, yay! I'm so excited for this. All right. So, for this challenge, sorry, I still got chocolate in my mouth. That was delicious. For this challenge, I have to tell Megan 5 dad jokes, and she is not allowed to laugh.
I'm ready.
This will be awesome. All right. Here's my first one. My first one is, my wife is really mad at the fact that I have no sense of direction. So I packed up my stuff and right. I packed up my stuff and right. Okay. I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Dad, can you put the cat out? I didn't know it was on fire. What time did the man go to the dentist? Tooth hurty. I can't even laugh. All right. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. You did it, Megan. That's it.
Let me tell you what. That first one nearly got me. I packed up my stuff and right.
And it was so hard to
amazing. So good. That one, like, I had tears in my eyes, and I like felt the laughter, and I was like, oh no.
All right. So I know it was shocking, specifically for Megan, why Les Miserables is number 8, because it is a very special musical for us because we shared memories with it and all of that, which, you know, it is special for that reason. But I put it right beside Beauty and the Beast because of that, because we did it in high school, because it has such wonderful memories. I do love all the songs. I do love the story. It's also one of the first times I heard a musical being being performed with all music, and no dialogue. So that was cool. And but ultimately it's just, although it's special, it's not as special as some of the other ones in my heart, but it is still special because of Megan and LBA.
Yay! Here we go. The final top 4. Strangely enough, Selena and I both did not figure out each other's top 4 or our number 4 spot. So we both are able to just do a top 4 dealio right now. Head-to-head top 4. All right, so here we go, Selena. Where does Hairspray fall on my top 4?
Number 4.
No.
Wow. Interesting. That makes me curious to see what your list. Okay, cool. Alrighty, fine. I want more. Can I get more chocolate? Can I have that one? It is drink pickle juice. All right, so I just purchased the pickles and I didn't have time to get them out. That is the sound of me opening it for the first time. So I'm going to drink this pickle juice right out of the pickle jar because no one in my house eats pickles but me.
If you ever need pickles, a pickle jar open, call Selena because she just opened that up with no problem.
But I can't do push-ups.
You can't do push-ups. She can open a pickle jar. Priorities.
Priorities, people. Priorities.
Strong grip. Strong grip.
All right. So I'm just going to drink this right out of the thing. Because they're my pickles anyway. I do love pickles.
Cheers.
I'm about to eat a pickle after this. All right.
Do it. I love pickles.
Cheers. Holy crap, I know what you're talking about now. I was not expecting it to be like that sour.
It's not as fun as pickles.
No, it's not. It doesn't have the fun crunch. This one's harder than the lemon.
See?
I could not react to this one. Woo! One more, because you did 3. I'm not drinking all of this.
No.
Selena would be done.
Girl.
So one more. Holy butt smackers.
Fantastic.
That's like a shot, man. You gotta like take it like a...
That's why it's like taking a shot of whiskey beforehand is almost better.
Ooh, yes. Ooh.
I put Hairspray at number 2. It was
really?
Yes. It was the first show I ever saw on Broadway. And I was 15 years old and I'd gone to New York with the group from LVA. And I remember like we were running late from the airport. We had just enough time to throw our bags in the room, throw some different clothes on and walk across the street to the Neil Simon Theater. And it was the first time I'd ever been in a professional like Broadway house. Obviously, I'd never been to New York before. And it was just magic from start to finish. Everything blew my mind. Also, the songs cannot come on my playlist without me tearing up a little bit at probably all of them, just from remembering that trip and what that meant to me to see it. So that's why it's at number 2. Yes, nailing it.
All right,
Selena. Tell me some top 4s.
All right, my top 4. Hamilton. Of course, that would be on my list. Do you guys know me?
Yeah. That's why
Do you
this
know
is
me?
difficult. I feel like this is your number one.
You're actually incorrect.
Oh.
It is not my number one. I hear our producer's face.
And everyone on Facebook just a collective gasp. Okay, all right. I'm doing my penalty then. What's it gonna be? Marshmallow poem.
Ooh! Okay, so for this challenge, Megan Kumis has to put marshmallows in her mouth until her mouth is stuffed and say a poem.
There's have 2 marshmallows and it's already full.
Don't choke. We don't have 911 on the line, but we could.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go like this because it's kind of gross to look at it. Right?
Right.
It's a little gross.
Yeah. It is a little gross to look at, so go ahead.
The time has come.
Megan has stuffed 3 marshmallows into her mouth, and she is attempting to recite
really hard.
the poem.
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. Of shoes and sips and singing laughs, of characters and kings. And why the sea is boiling hot, and whether fish have wings.
Did you just say the walrus? Okay, so actually Hamilton is at number 3. So it is, though, one of my absolute favorites, specifically one of my absolute recent favorites. And for that, I guess technically it's number 1 if you want to say for most recent musical. But it is, I mean, I'm going to blow this 1 minute thing. I'm not even going to try, because let me tell you about Hamilton and why it's so amazing to me. It is ground-breaking, people. Groundbreaking. Earth
And if you didn't
shattering.
know, here's our episode.
We're talking about the creatives in that one, but the whole thing is earth-shattering. It is stupendous, marvelous. There's no words to describe its brilliance. It is brilliant. So not only is it brilliant from the mere storyline, the mere putting this whole entire man's life into a 2-hour musical, maybe pushing 3. But not only that, but the fact that it was so innovative, and it did something that musicals for eons have kind of been the same structure. You know, some musicals change it, like Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, that have all music instead of dialogue and all that, but it still has the same kind of feel, same sort of, that's why it's easy to put into a category in like records. There's no more record stores, but when there was record stores, you could put it into a category really easily, because back in the day, musicals just had a sound. Hamilton broke that. Hamilton said, actually, that's not the sound of musicals. Musicals can be more than that sound. I know that made some traditionalists and some originalists very angry, or not. They may not like it because of that. It broke it, but it revolutionized. And I know, we talked about it in our episode that Lin, was inspired by Rent, because Rent was another one that pushed it, and Hair, I could say that too, that pushed, using the music that of the day for the musical, but no one in their right mind would ever think of rap in a musical the whole time? Are you kidding me? Who thinks of these things? Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's who. And so yes, and then the fact that they not only busted it with casting, with making rap in the musical, then they just went and said, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and jump all the way overboard and put black people, not only black people in a musical, and again, there's not many African-American musicals, which we talk about that in our AU episode. AU BIPOC. But not only that, but they are playing white roles. Like what?
Crazy pants.
Crazy pants. This musical has lost its dang mind. Rap and black people playing big historical white dudes. Or not only black people, I'm sorry, people of color. But this is crazy. This is crazy. So yes, it was and and I'm going to say this last part. I know I'm way over my minute, like eons over my minute, but this is my last point about this, is that it inspired me to write again. It inspired me to just do it. I saw this guy, this Lin-Manuel Miranda, that I didn't know before that. I didn't see in the Heights. I didn't know anything about him before. Disney Plus's version, people, by the way, of Hamilton. And I just realized this man just did it. He just did it. He wanted to do something. He wanted to create something, and he did it. And he took his time with it, but he did it. And that's, and I know we talked about it before, but that's been my mantra ever since. Just do it. I'm just going to do it. I don't know how it will work out, but imagine if he just didn't. Imagine if he said that's too big of an idea. No, I can't. I don't have the people. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have this. I don't have that. And used all these excuses that we try to put in our mind. We would be robbed of that. And it inspired me to a level that I just, the only time this has ever happened that I was this inspired was Citizen Kane, movie-wise, filmmaking. But that was it. And so, yeah. But it is only number 3, though.
And that's only number 3.
All right, I'll take
girl,
my penalty.
you went way over. You got to take your
I mean,
penalty.
I didn't. I mean, 1 minute for Hamilton, though? That was impossible. Dad jokes challenge.
I'm so excited. What do sprinters eat before a race? Nothing. They fast.
I already knew I was going to lose this one before it even started because I didn't love dad jokes.
Well, I'm going to finish them even though you already laughed because, come on. Dad
Yes,
joke
keep
time.
going. Keep going.
Why do vampires seem sick? They're always coughing. Selena, spring is here. I'm so excited. I wet my plants.
Okay.
What do you call a donkey with 3 legs? A wonky. And this is my favorite one. Ready? I invented a new word today. Plagiarism.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew I already told this actually before we even began recording. I already knew that was going to be the one I was 100%
that was
going
to be your downfall.
Yes, because I was like, I love dad jokes and I laugh at every single one all the time, forever and a day. Dad jokes and bad pickup lines are my weakness. I love a bad pickup line. It's your turn.
Hamilton.
Oh, for you too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to say 3 also.
Incorrect.
All right, truth or dare?
Oh, okay.
All right.
I dare you to show us your best dance move.
Like
Here,
one
let me-
I would
let me-
bust out in the club
Let me
right now.
let me assist you. Yeah, let me assist you in some music. Hang on. She is a dancing.
The grocery
Yes.
shop. The grocery cart.
grocery cart. A classic.
Mopping the floor.
And
Lawnmower.
amazing.
All right. What
so
number is Hamilton for you?
Hamilton for me is number 4.
I was going to say number 4, but I
4.
was curious again to see if we had one in common. But go ahead.
Hamilton is my number 4 because obviously it is that groundbreaking musical. It's something so very, very different. And it's something of our time that is a little bit old school musical where you have a musical that is completely music and no real scene work. And then you also have something that's done with kind of music from our youth and how we grew up and stuff like that. It's just taking musical theater to a different level. It's bringing it into the future. It's making it something more accessible to a wider group of people than just people who have money that can go to a theater. And it's also an incredibly well written and well orchestrated musical as well. It is the scene work, the character development, the storytelling is just unbelievable with the way that they handled everything. Just truly props to Hamilton. Love it. I didn't do it. I went over.
I mean, Hamilton, though.
I know it's Hamilton. Mystery food. My eyes are closed. Oh, it smells like an onion.
Oh, that's rude.
Oh, it's garlic. No.
That's rude.
No.
I bet your fiance did that to
Guys,
you.
tell me I don't have to eat this. It's
Yes, you
literally a
do.
raw piece of garlic. Come on.
Your fiance did this to you.
Can I just bite it and eat
You
it?
can
Do I have to
bite
eat
it.
the whole clove.
You can
Okay.
you can bite it.
Freaking fiance. Don't get engaged. Oh, it's so spicy. It's so spicy.
I got chocolate and you got garlic.
He didn't give me a chocolate. I'm eating a marshmallow. Oh, that sucked. Oh, God. That was terrible.
Now for my next one. My next top 4 is Fiddler on the Roof.
4?
Yes.
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 Good
Oh, it
job,
was
Maggie
hard.
Poo.
Oh, it was hard.
Good job. I know.
Yes.
That one is a hard one. Good job, Maggie Poo.
I'm going to eat the remainder of my marshmallow. Because
You eat the remainder of your marshmallow, and I will explain, hopefully. Well, no, this one's pretty easy. It's not as like Hamilton-y. All right. So Fiddler on the Roof is number 4 for me because, again, it's very, and it's actually right above My Fair Lady for the very similar reasons. It's more about nostalgia than anything. It's another one where my grandma and my cousins would watch it all together in our living room. Well, she had a den that was like a second living room. And we would literally, my favorite part, and I'll still see it, and all my cousins can attest to this, who are watching, our favorite part is if I were a rich man, and specifically when Tevye would do his arms, and we would do the same. We would go around the entire living room doing that dance. And so that's why whenever we had Bruce Wynette, another Art Unmasked, and we had Bruce Wynette, it was so exciting to listen to that song again because that song immediately takes me back into my grandmother's living room.
Yay.
Oh, yay!
Hades Town.
I haven't seen that one also, but I do have it on my list to listen to, but you know how I am with listening to musicals before I see them. All right. Number 3.
Yes. All right. Hades Town is my number 3. I saw it on Broadway 2019 on my birthday. My friend took me. And it was one of those musicals where I didn't listen to it before I went. Like I specifically was like, this is going to be that one show that I go to because it was so early on in the run that I'm going over. I don't care. It was so early in the run that I could actually wait and not listen to it. You know, sometimes I just get antsy and I'm like, I just want to listen to it. But I went and I saw it, and it's another one of those things where it is a beautiful piece of new theater.
Mm.
And I say new theater because it's an original work, and it's not an original storyline because technically it's based off a Greek myth,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not from a movie and it's not from a book. It's not something that we've seen already. It's something completely different. And the way they tell the story, they put it in their own world. They wrote their own music. The Anais Mitchell, who wrote the music and the show, wrote this as an album 10 years before it became a Broadway musical. 10 years ago.
Amazing.
And there are so many things that are in her music that's so poignant and topical today that like my friend and I would sit there in the audience, we're like, did she write this about this? Did she write this about this in our lifetime? Like in the last like 4 years of our life. And you look at it and like interviews that she has, she's like, people think I wrote this about like the last 4 years of America, but really I wrote this 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Just because it feels so very important right now. And there's such a beautiful moment that this show has where they use the silent moments really well too. And
kind of like what Marina Kondo said.
Yes. And they use this incredible, beautiful silent moment. And this is not spoiling anything. It's a beautiful silent moment where everyone in the show, except for, I think Hades, he's not there. Everyone else is kind of enjoying themselves at like a restaurant, like a tavern. And they all cheers each other. And it's a quiet moment. And like the main character says, to the world we dream about, right? And everybody in the tavern raises their glass. And then they all look at the audience and break the fourth wall. And he says, and to the world we live in now.
Aww.
And they cheers towards the audience. And it's a positive moment. Like, it's that positive reinforcement of like, we can dream about a better world. We can still acknowledge that our world right now is good and that we have work to do, but we can still make this a positive moment and not like, oh, we have so much work to do to get to that world we dream about. It can be a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful show. Oh, it's such a beautiful show. I have tears thinking about it. The design elements are incredible. The costume elements are incredible. The character development is incredible. It's such a well done new show.
Yay.
And I'm way over and I don't care.
Don't care. Me and Megan are a little rebellious sometimes. All right, so your next dare.
My next dare.
I just jumped to dare. I guess I can give you a truth.
Okay. Give me a truth. Why not? Let's find out something about me.
All right, so a truth. Maybe I won't do that one. I'll do that one. What is the weirdest trend you've ever participated in?
Blue lipstick. Blue lipstick back when I was in middle school. Like now
That's
people
terrible.
wear blue. Now people wear blue lipstick and it's cool. Back then it wasn't like, it was like a shiny silvery blue lipstick without like a liner. It wasn't matte. Like there was no way this was cool. Nowadays it looks like fire on some people. It looks so awesome. But back then it was not cool and it was
Thank
very
you for
strange.
clarifying some people. That means not all of y'all should be doing it. Listen.
It's true. Listen, like people be looking like the way people can do their makeup is an art these days. It truly is. And I am one of those people that I struggle with it. So it doesn't always look good on me because I struggle. All right. Are you ready for your last two?
Yes. So I'll give you, this will probably be easy, but it's okay. I'll give you Oliver.
I'm guessing that's your number 2.
Yes.
Nice.
You're very right. It is my number 2. It is. So recently I forced Megan to watch it because
Didn't force it. It was wonderful. Truly.
I mean, this might be actually short because there's no words. I don't even know what to say. Oliver is just perfect to me. It's my heart. It's my soul. Actually, I am going to go over because I just remembered Fagin and he's a lot to do with it. I love Oliver. I love little Oliver. And my next favorite is 100% Dodger. But Fagin, specifically Fagin, for some reason, I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but that Ron Moody, the actor, and I'm talking about Oliver ! By the way, not Oliver and Company, not Oliver Twist, not any of those other Olivers. Okay.
I do love an Oliver and Company though.
Not Oliver and Company. Not Oliver and Company. Oliver with the exclamation point, 1968. All right, anyway. But yeah, when I think about Ron Moody and his portrayal of Fagin, it was also one of the first times I saw a complicated character where he's a villain, technically, but he's not, technically. You know, because he's not a good guy because he's having children steal things. But he's not a bad guy because he's also housing those children and giving them sustenance and belonging and fathership. And he's always trying to reach for something more, yet still staying ground. He's just a very and my favorite part when they're, I mean, sorry, this is going to be a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen Oliver, pause it, go see this, go see how it come back. But the moment at the end when they go off into the sunset, him and Dodger, it gets me every single time, and I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this musical. It has to be in the thousands, and every single time that moment tears me up. Every time. I think it's just the idea of a new beginning, no matter what happens, though life can literally fall apart, as long as you have your health and just your main support, you could just go, a new life has dawned. And I just love it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. And I know I went over and I don't care.
Draw that mustache, girl. I've been waiting for you to draw this mustache in solidarity with me.
So I guess I'm going to be doing the drawing. I feel weird doing this in the webcam.
I know, it's weird, right? It's not perfect.
It is definitely not perfect.
But it's there. It's nice. Oh, giving yourself a little stubble on the beard too? A little goatee? Nice. Having a little Zorro moment. I like it.
I'm a sexy man.
Out of the night when the full moon is bright. Okay. Our number ones. This one. You know what? How about this? So we only have our number ones left. Celine, Kristen, who won? Did anyone win?
That's a surprise!
Yeah. Good job, girl. But look at you. You won. Selena is the resident champion of top 10. Okay, so my number one favorite musical of all time. I'm gonna take my hat off for it.
Ooh, we're getting serious, people.
My favorite musical is Phantom of the Opera.
Really?
Yes, because that was the musical.
Surprise.
That was the musical that made me want to be an actor. That was the musical that made me want to do theater. I was 5 years old. My mom we lived in LA at the time. I was born in California, so we lived in LA. My mom wanted to take my grandma to see the tour of Phantom of the Opera. Or maybe it was when the Phantom of the Opera had their sit down in LA. I'm not sure which one it was, but she wanted to take my grandma for Mother's Day. But of course, trying to find someone to babysit your 5-year-old on Mother's Day is not easy. So, of course, I think her babysitter canceled at the last minute. And my grandmother wanted to go, and she didn't want to, not go because we didn't have a babysitter. So my grandma's like, just bring her. It's fine. Who cares? My mom's like, don't you think it'll be a little dark for a 5-year-old? She goes, no, it's fine. She'll probably fall asleep. She won't even notice. Guys, when I tell you that in the overture started and my life changed, because I had never, ever experienced anything like that. And I remember not being afraid because my mom had already told me, these are actors, it's make believe. So I understood the concept of what it was and I wasn't scared. And I just remember being shocked. You could be on stage, you could make believe on stage, you could sing, you could wear these costumes. I knew that these people were people, they were actors. My whole little tiny brain was understanding this. And yet I could not tear my eyes away from it. And I remember the guy in front of me was really tall, or maybe he was just normal, but I was 5. And I remember sitting up in my chair on my feet until my feet hurt. And then I would hold myself up on the things to keep looking over his head until my arms hurt. And that he'd just kind of go back and forth between sitting up on my feet and then sitting up on my arms. And I was like exhausted by the end of the show. And I do remember at the end of the show kind of asking storytelling questions of my mom, like, why did she choose him in the end? Like, why did Christine go with Raoul? Like, it seems like she loves the Phantom. She goes, well, she loved Raoul more than the Phantom. Spoiler. And I was like, but that didn't seem so. Like, the way that it just didn't seem like, yeah, she loved him, but it also seemed like she loved the Phantom. That's complicated. I don't get it. Mom's like, I don't know what to tell you. That's what happened. And I'm like, well, where did he go in the end? Because, you know, he has this kind of magic trick he does at the end. He kind of disappears. She goes, I don't know where he goes. Like, that's something that you can use your imagination and just imagine he went somewhere. I was like, oh. So there was just a lot of things that spoke to me. And I remember like getting the double disc set and listening to it all the time. And I had my little program that I looked at every night before bed. And I remember from that moment on, I was like, I want to do this. I want to be an actor. I want to do this. And, you know, things kind of fade throughout the years. And I remember being in elementary school and deciding in middle school, like you were able to pick a couple electives and one of them was theater. I'm like, oh, I want to do theater. And all my friends were like, we're doing dance, right? And I'm like, I want to do theater. And I picked theater. And I remember in my English class of all places, we had to go to the library in middle school and pick out a book to read. That was part of like, it had to have like a green sticker on it. You can pick any book that had a green sticker, but that's the book you have to read this 9 weeks. And I'm walking through and I can't find anything. And there's one book left on the shelf of this whole long row of nothing. And it was Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
And it instantly, I was like, after not thinking about it for years, took me back right to that place of being in that theater. And I was like, oh, snap. That's right. And that's when then things kind of start building again of like, yeah, that's right. I want to be an actor. And that's why I want to take theater. And that's why I'm doing these things. And then I was like, okay, well, how do I actually make this happen? And that's when I looked up, like I figured out you could go to a high school to do it. And then I figured out you could go to a college. And it just felt like when I auditioned for LVA, I sang Phantom of the Opera. I was a terrible singer. But that was the song that I chose to be able to, I sang Music of the Night. I sang my little 8 bars of Music of the Night. And that's what got me into LVA. So it has been, even though I know like it's a little cheesy, it's a little dated, it's a little dramatic. There's moments that's like, okay. And it's kind of like it's operatic, which is something I don't really listen to. But it is a beautiful musical. The music itself is incredible. And it just has been at every point in my life. Even when we first went to New York City, I remember standing in Times Square for the very first time and looking at everything and being like, this is incredible, and turning around. And the first thing that catches my focus is a billboard for Phantom of the Opera. And it just says, remember your first time. Aww. And I remember being like, this is crazy, right? So it's been in every big part of my life. When I moved to New York, I remember hustling around one day and having like a terrible day of auditions and hustling to make it to one and turning the corner. And I was on the Majestic. I was on the street where the Phantom of the Opera Theater is. So it's just always been there. It was really long, I'm sorry. But that's why it's my favorite musical, just because it's brought me here.
Yeah. Yeah. And my number one is the nearly exact same. And I started laughing because my number one, I sang for LVA audition too.
Did you?
I sang a song from the LVA. Yes. For my number one. And I just realized that when you said you sang it, and I was like, wait, that's so funny. I wonder if everyone did that. They sang their number one. I wonder, can you guess my number one?
I think I know what it is.
I think you know what it is too.
Is it Sound of Music?
Yes, it is. Because I knew you knew it was, because you played the song to try to get me to sing from it. And I'm like, she knows what my number one is. Yes, my number one is 100%. Well, the reigning champ forever and a day, and nothing will ever top it, is Sound of Music. Not even Hamilton will top it. Because of the very similar reasons for you, Megan. For me, it was the groundbreaking musical that not only wanted that I where I wanted to be an actor, where I wanted to do theater specifically, where I wanted to be even in the movie, because Sound of Music, I only knew the movie version. So it put all of my passions that I currently even have all in there. I want to be in the movies, I want to be an actor, and I want to be in theater, because it was all three of them put to one. And but the first time I saw it was I have to take this from my grandma's point of view and my family's, because I was so young. And of course, I was so young watching things with Nazis. I didn't get the Nazis until I was like in high school. I was like, wait, there's Nazis in there? But anyway.
It's like you knew it was
the way,
something bad because you knew something was
I knew it was something bad.
But you didn't
but
understand.
I didn't know Nazis.
Yeah.
It was way over my head. And okay, so the first time I watched it when I was 3. I was 3 years old. So actually it's crazy because I was the age of my second daughter is right now. And apparently my grandma says that she would be so annoyed with me because I wouldn't stop watching it. And that's a long movie. It's not like it's just, a 90-minute thing. It's a whole thing. And I would have to watch the entire thing every day. Not only that, right when it was over, it was back in the day when you had a VHS, I'd rewind it. Mm-hmm. Way back to the beginning and play again. My grandma would have to yell, Selena, that better not be Sound of Music again! Turn it off! I'm done! And I'm just like, play. Over and over and over again. She literally had to rip it from my hands. All I wanted to do is watch Sound of Music. And it was crazy because when I started to get conscious of my love for it, I started to put myself in all the kids' ages. And I used to do this thing where I'm like, well, I'm no longer Gretel's age. I am now Luisa's age. Or I'm now Brigitta's age. Ooh. And then I remember Liesel's age being 16 was so far out in my mind. And not only was it so far out, I thought that's when I'm mature. Because Liesel's mature. I literally structured my life based on the children. I'm like, oh, now I'm Friedrich, so I don't need a governess.
I don't need a governess.
I'm not a baby anymore. I don't need anyone to watch me because I'm Friedrich. I'm Friedrich's age. So there's that. And anyway, and then it's funny because then when I actually passed Liesel's age of 16, I was like, she was a baby. What am I thinking? I was thinking she was so adult and mature. Of course, now looking back, she was quite mature for a 16-year-old. But it's just such, it got me into wanting to do anything with theater. I knew I couldn't sing like Julie Andrews, but I dang well tried. And it gave me my first crush. My first crush was 120 million% Christopher Plummer. My first crush ever. Even though he was scary and mean at the beginning, I thought he was handsome. I was little. And I was like, oh, who's that? And I used to it got so bad that I used to like when I would have a crush or a boyfriend, I would try to compare them. Well, are you Christopher Plummer though?
I mean,
are you strong, but then sweet?
Comparing your boyfriends to Captain Von Trapp is maybe the best relationship advice I could give any young person. If they're not as awesome as Captain Von Trapp, kick him to the curb.
I mean, and he has to have that give and flow. He has to have, is he strong, but is he soft? I mean, he is very strong, but he's also very soft. Mm-hmm. Is he a go-getter? Is he one that stands for social justice when it needs to? Does he rip up a flag? Would he rip up a flag?
Listen, would
he escape into the mountains with you when he knows that there's no other way? Would he leave everything he's known for
all his riches and everything just to take care of his family and stand on his principles? Yes.
Yes,
and be
would he?
Gorgeous while doing it. Yes.
Gorgeous while doing it. But yes, I sang, for LVA, I sang Climb Every Mountain.
Yes.
Was the song I sang, yes.
And you actually introduced me to Sound of Music because I had never seen it before. Remember? We had I told you that, and because you were singing. Right. You were singing something, Sound of Music, and I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen it. You were like, you've never seen the Sound of Music, and you came over for a sleepover. And I think I rented it or you brought it. And I remember telling my mom, like, yeah, Selena's coming. We're going to watch Sound of Music. She goes, why? I'm like, because I've never seen it. She goes, you've never seen the Sound of Music? I'm like, no, Mom. You never showed it to me. So then we
And
watched
this-
Sound of Music all weekend. I think we watched it twice.
I'm telling you, it's impossible. It's really hard for me to only watch it once, even now. And that's funny because I did the same thing with Oliver. My top two, I was like, I introduced you to.
Yeah.
Have you seen this, Megan?
Get your sleeping bag.
You know, yes. Now you have to get me on all these ones that on your list that I haven't seen yet.
I will,
But
I
still,
promise.
yes. So Sound of Music is 100. It will always be number one because it gave me my passion. And without it, I would not have. I don't know what I would have been
Yeah,
without it.
I love it. That's our top 10, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for playing
So-
this game with us and hanging
So
out.
long, farewell.
So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Willkommen, bienvenue.
Yes.
We hope you like the episode. Like and subscribe so we know you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment. Go to our social media. And if you're listening on Apple or if you're listening on any of our podcast stations, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, give us some stars. We really appreciate it. Also go onto our Patreon, Patreon.com/onehead. Become a patron. Help us keep making these videos. Help us keep making this podcast. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.